This is Paul Chima from Express Reality, Toronto, Canada. So today I'm going to speak about energy efficiency. I have a special guest here with me. His name is Yuri Olhovsky. He's a home inspector, but he is spending more time in energy efficiency inspection than anything else. So I'm pretty sure this conversation is going to be a lot of use to so many people. Energy basically is whatever we consume at our property, running the house. Electricity is a major thing here. So a lot of emphasis is being put on getting energy efficient. So what is this energy efficiency? How can we do it? What cost factors are involved and how it's going to help you save on energy and at the same time increase the value of your property. So welcome Mr. Yuri Olhovsky to our studio, and I thank you, Yuri, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul, for inviting me here.
Thank you very much for coming actually. So I see you are in Richmond Hill and coming all the way. It's a great privilege for me and all those people who are going to listen to your awesome information and knowledge.
Thank you.
So Yuri, tell me something about you. People are listening to you.
I am an electrical engineer on my background. I have been in home inspection industry since 2001. I own my company that is called Home Inspections for You. And at the same time, I'm doing some other things all around the house. Most of them are related to energy efficiency. So points of increasing energy efficiency, helping people to utilize energy, to make their homes more energy efficient. I'm also certified energy advisor for new homes. I work with a number of new builders who build Energy Star homes. And I'm also doing some infrared thermal imaging that helps in determining some energy factors that are not visible by eye. I'm working in the field of indoor air quality, helping people to have better air in their houses.
That's awesome. Like we hear energy efficiency all the time. And Yuri just talked about some Star Wars kind of stuff like infrared. I see that in Star Wars games actually. The infrared you just said. So Yuri, why is energy efficiency so important for a house?
Well, let's speak first about environment. We all care about environment. Yes. And there is a known fact that 17% of all the energy that is produced in Canada going to heat our homes. 17%, it's almost the fifth of all the energy is going for heating our homes. So obviously we want to reduce this amount. We want to make environment healthier. And for this we are working for improving the energy efficiency, and this relates both existing homes and new homes. And there are different programs that are available to help in doing this, but mostly it's the self-conscious of people, Canadians, who care about our environment.
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure I heard it right. So you said 70%.
17.
17, 1/7. So 17% of energy is utilized in
homes,
in our home, right?
All the energy that is produced in Canada, so, by coal, by wind, by renewable energy, everything.
Okay. So where does the rest of 83% go?
The rest 83% goes to industrial, commercial, etc.
There you go. It goes
but residential takes 1/5 of it.
Okay. All right. And we are still trying to cut down on that.
Correct.
Why should people do that actually? Okay, I hear Canadians are conscious, but they need to heat their home, they need to live a comfortable life, they don't mind paying it. So paying for like other things, making big renovation in the house. So why actually should they go for it, other than conscious?
Well, that's interesting. Conscious is obviously,
Yeah.
but you mentioned comfort, and that is really a very good point. Because first of all, what is comfort? How do we define that the home is comfortable or not comfortable?
Yes.
So comfort is defined as no change in temperature when person goes from one area of the house to another. If he doesn't feel any differences in ambient temperature, that's a comfortable house.
Awesome. This is a very detailed explanation.
And how can we make our houses comfortable?
Yes.
If we close one door and open all the other doors, will the door that is closed make this room more comfortable?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
So we work on improving the energy efficiency by putting more insulation in our walls, in our ceilings in the attic, putting more energy efficient windows and doors, putting more energy efficient, higher energy efficient for heating, for water heater, and obviously making indoor air quality this is a very important aspect, making it better for us because we breathe this air every day.
Every day. So Yuri, one question that triggers my mind. Solar energy panels. Is that also something you take as part of energy conservation?
Well, solar energy it's a little bit outside because solar energy, much like wind energy, it's a renewable energy.
Okay.
It's something that is not considered as important as fossil fuels. We need to get rid of fossil fuels, and for this we utilize more of the renewable energy. And sun is a free energy. We have sun every day for free. So why not to take this energy and utilize it for generating electricity, for making our hot water in the homes? And that's what we're doing, putting solar panels on the roofs of our houses.
So that is basically off topic. We'll leave it for some other day maybe.
Okay.
Someday we'll talk about solar energy because I am very inquisitive about solar energy panels and their scope on sale of the property.
Yes.
So I do have some difficult sales, but that was because of solar panels. But anyways, let's not go there. So I have seen those appliances where we see a little tab saying Energy Star appliances. But now we are also seeing builder promoting, oh, this is an Energy Star home. So what exactly is an Energy Star home?
That is a very good question. First of all, why is the Energy Star suddenly appears on the houses?
Yeah, it's strange, right?
Yeah, and it's exactly what you started with the appliances. We are all familiar with Energy Star appliances.
Yeah.
We want Energy Star appliances because this logo, a little blue logo that says Energy
a little
Star,
and the, it looks nicer to the eyes actually.
It looks very nice.
But I wonder, do they really save energy?
But it also is a guarantee that this appliance takes less energy than any other one. So it saves energy, especially in the long run. So our government, Natural Resources Canada, decided to take this logo, this sign, and apply it to residential homes. And this program actually is the program that is running for years already, for about probably 10 years, is running in Canada. And this program applies to new homes. Today, every municipality requires every single builder, new builder who builds new homes, requires to present how they are going to make houses more energy efficient.
Yes.
And in this case, the Energy Star is very helpful, because if builder puts on his plans that the house that he is going to build will be an Energy Star home,
Yes.
government knows, municipalities know, this is the energy efficient house that is going to be approximately 20 to 25% more energy efficient than any house built to the building code.
Okay.
Because the building code is a minimum requirements.
Yes.
That's a minimum to what builders have to build.
Yes.
But every builder, in order to attract more buyers to his houses, has to stand out from the crowd. So how they can do it? They can advertise that their houses are Energy Star homes. And in order to have the house as an Energy Star qualified or certified, the builder has to work with third-party, independent energy advisor who will label his home as an Energy Star home. And there is a set of prescribed requirements for Energy Star homes.
So who basically, which agency of the government is concerned with this certification?
So first of all, the program is administered by Natural Resources Canada.
Okay, so it's Ministry of Natural Resources.
Correct. The Ministry of Natural Resources is administering the program. They are providing all the set of requirements that Energy Star homes
Should
have
have.
to comply with.
So there again the basic minimum requirements for being an energy efficient.
Energy efficient for Energy Star, which is, like I said, about 20 to 25% more than the building code.
So do the builders give a particular rating like we see in appliances, that this appliance is 25% or 96% energy efficient? Is there something like that?
Energy Star program is the program where if the house is labeled as an Energy Star, it is an Energy Star home.
Okay.
You can get a rating if the house will be evaluated by one of the methods. There are two methods to achieve Energy Star rating. It could be prescriptive pass or performance pass.
So prescriptive and performance.
And performance.
Okay.
Prescriptive is a set of requirements already prescribed. For example, R20 insulation in the walls, R20 insulation in the foundation, R50 insulation in the attic, Energy Star Zone C windows, etc. So all these prescribed requirements, if they are followed precisely,
Yes.
they give the label and they say this house is Energy Star because it complies with prescribed requirements.
Of the Ministry of Natural Resources.
Correct. But if the builder wants to know what is the rating, and the rating for the Energy Star homes should be more than 83 on the Energuide scale from 0 to 100, where 100 considered to be the most energy efficient home,
Okay.
and 0 is the most inefficient home. So 83, that's what the rating for Energy Star. So performance pass is the pass that is followed by modeling the house in energy efficiency software HOT 2000. It's a government software that is licensed to every certified energy auditor or energy evaluator, Energy Star evaluator, who can use this program. And if builder agrees to go through the performance pass, then they will get this rating, whether it will be 83, 84, but the minimum it should
Minimum
be
is
83.
So
That's
is
in
83% or 83 something, some other number?
83 is not a percentage. We can say it's percentage. We can say that 100 is a 100% efficient home.
Okay.
And 83% efficient
Okay.
home. Because we can talk about energy efficiency having or speaking about net zero homes where they don't consume any energy. They just produce as much energy as they consume, and that's why they call net zero homes. But in every house that is built, realistically built nowadays, especially by production builder, there always will be some losses. Always. There will be a little bit of air leakage, there will be a little bit of imperfections in air sealing, etc.
Yeah, well, those are human errors.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the rating is 83. Again, it's if the builder chooses to follow performance path.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So newer homes are mostly, I see, most newer homes are coming with energy efficient, because I see those heat recovery walls in the houses close to the furnace area. I see the top to bottom, like right down to the basement floor, the walls are insulated.
And this is a new requirement for Energy Star.
This is a new requirement, but it has nothing to do with the building codes.
No.
And it's builder's prerogative. He wants to go Energy Star, he doesn't want to go Energy Star.
Correct.
It's not mandatory for all homes to be built according to Energy Star guidelines.
The mandatory is to build to building code.
Build to building
Energy
code.
Star is 20% more efficient than building
Yeah,
code. So it's a step further.
Talking about older homes, like homes that were built couple years back, let's talk about homes built 50, 60 years back. Do you think those homes can also benefit from this energy efficiency retrofits? And I will also ask you later about the cost factors and how the property value appreciates and what people are getting into. Let's talk about, will the older home be benefited if they go for this energy efficiency retrofits?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have to say more. The most problems that we experience as environmentalists, as people who are conscious about environment,
Yes.
are with older homes. Because houses that were built 50, 60 years ago, they obviously do not have this insulation. Some of them do
Yes.
not have any insulation at all,
Yes.
because houses that were built as double brick homes were never insulated. They had 2 rows of brick, that is called double brick.
So mean
They
there was
had
no insulation?
No
at all?
insulation when the house was built in 50s,
Oh.
60s. They didn't need this insulation. The electricity was so cheap. The
Yeah.
utilities were cheap.
Oh,
Nobody
yes.
thought about insulating something. They put a little bit of insulation, about 3-4 inches in the attic.
Yes.
Some very old newspapers worked as insulation as well in the attic.
Very interesting.
When I do home inspections, I sometimes find old newspapers in the attic. They used as shredded newspapers were used as insulation.
My goodness.
So obviously, if we compare the rating in the same hot 2000, if we model 2 houses, the house that was built in 50s, 60s, and the house that was built even in 80s, 90s, that would be a huge difference.
Well,
Huge.
it's very interesting because I didn't know it.
Yes. So it is very, very important for the older houses to bring them to the modern level of energy efficiency. And how can we do this? By retrofits. So people who want to do energy efficiency retrofits, they have a number of actions that they can take, or a number of measures, energy improvement measures. For example, they can put insulation in the main walls if there is no insulation. For example, the same double brick construction. They can put insulation in the basement. Before, it was a common misconception that the soil is a very good insulator.
Yeah.
So the builders who built houses in 80s, they made insulation only 2 feet down. And that's it, because the rest, they said it's a soil. Soil is a good insulator. In fact, right now we know that the soil actually is a very poor insulator. And that's why we changed the requirements for insulation of the foundation wall. We now require them to be insulated all the way down,
Oh, okay.
almost to the basement slab. So they can, the owners of the older homes, they can do retrofits by insulating foundation walls, by putting more energy efficient heating system. There are still many houses that use atmospheric furnaces that were manufactured in 70s and 80s. Mid-efficiency furnaces connected to the chimneys. And chimney basically is an unsafe way of providing heating, because if there will be strong wind blowing onto the chimney, or the bird will make a nest, there will be no draft. And where will all this carbon monoxide go? Will go into the house. There will be no proper draft, no proper exhaust for the combustion gases.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why now we don't manufacture atmospheric appliances. We don't manufacture mid-efficiency furnaces
This
anymore.
is a new thing for me actually, atmospheric.
We only manufacture
system.
high-efficiency furnaces. The furnaces that have double heat exchanger,
Yes.
or so-called condensing furnaces, that are vented through the plastic pipe through the side wall of the house.
Yeah, the white ones.
And this, correct. Right now it's white.
Yeah.
Before it was black pipe.
Yeah.
But the code was changed in 2007, and since 2007 we only put white pipes for the high efficiency furnaces. And the furnaces themselves are much more efficient right now. If the first high efficiency furnaces were about 90% efficiency when they were first introduced to the market, nowadays we have 96, 97, 98% as a standard.
Is closest to, yeah.
Yes, equipped with ECM motors, electronic commutator motors, DC motors, direct current motors,
Yes.
energy efficient motors.
Yes.
So that allows us to save electricity. Don't forget, we breathe air in our homes every day,
Yes.
all day long. And what we breathe the air that we have inside. How can we get fresh air? That's another thing. Open the window. How far can you open the window when it's minus 25 outside?
I can just imagine.
So, we came with a mechanical device called HRV, heat recovery ventilator. Or we have ERVs, energy recovery ventilators. It's essentially the same thing, a little bit different action. But not going deep into technical details,
Yeah,
I can say...
I don't want to confuse everyone listening to it.
Exactly. So I can say that heat recovery ventilator, it's an air-to-air exchanger. It takes stale air from the house, exhausts it outside, brings fresh air inside. And the DC motor, the furnace blower, distributes this fresh air throughout our house. And we need it all year round.
So, how does this HRV or ERV look like actually?
HRV
Can
is...
people easily differentiate that this is heat recovery ventilator, this is energy recovery ventilator?
Well, people who are not familiar, they obviously will not know.
Yeah.
But essentially, HRV is a device, looks like a box that has 4 pipes going out of them. 2 pipes go outside. One of them is supply of fresh air, another exhaust of the stale air. 2 other pipes go to the return duct of the furnace. And the HRV works, like I said, by taking air, stale air from the house, going through
from the return
core,
duct, from the return duct,
from the
it goes
inside
into
duct,
HRV.
going through the HRV core and going to the outside. At the same time, the fresh air comes in through the same core, where these 2 streams exchange their temperature. So the cold air that comes inside gets preheated by the warm stale air that goes outside.
Oh, wow.
And this fresh air, now preheated, goes to heat exchanger of the furnace, gets filtered, and gets distributed back into the house.
You just answered the question I was about to ask you. Then when the fresh air moves in and we're taking the hot air outside,
Yeah.
even though it's coming through return walls, return ducts of the house, you are losing some heat, but now you told me that they just shake hands with each other,
That's
say,
it.
hey, fresh air, take my temperature,
That's
and
right.
give me your coldness because I'm going out and want to feel comfortable outside.
And hence the name, heat recovery ventilator.
So is energy recovery ventilator is same kind as this?
Energy recovery ventilator is same, but it recovers energy. So it means it works more in the warmer time with the AC. It takes moisture out. It helps AC to cool down our houses. While heat recovery ventilator is more for a cold time, for a winter time, where it
Okay.
recovers heat. Energy
HRV
recovery
for-
recovers energy.
HRV for winter, ERV for summer.
Correct.
Wonderful. So you talked about retrofitting older homes, and well, people have so much equity in the homes now because they went like crazy couple months
Right.
back. So I can just imagine the cost when you talk about doing insulation of the walls in the basement or in the whole house up there. I think the cost might run into maybe $100,000. What do you think?
Well, it's not really hundred thousands, but let's talk a little bit about cost.
Yes.
It's obvious that
And we are just giving indicative numbers. You don't. You need to get your own estimate if you ever decide to go for that.
Of
We're
course.
just talking a ballpark figure.
It will be a ballpark
Yeah.
because you need to get estimate from
I don't
the
want anyone to
contract.
come back here and say, Yuri, you told me 20,000. I end up spending 35,000. I'm going to sue you now.
That's right.
So use your discretion, man.
Correct. Well, I can. I'm not a contractor myself. I
Yes.
don't do any work. I don't replace furnaces.
Yes.
I don't do insulation. I don't work in people's homes.
They just experience. We can basically give some guidelines to people.
Correct. All that I do energy audits. That's what I do. I'm
Okay.
auditing the house for the energy efficiency.
Yeah.
But from my own experience in my own home, where I had to insulate my own basement, I obviously didn't pay for the labor, which is the most expensive part of the
Who did
energy
that?
retrofit. I did it myself.
Oh, okay.
So I, for example, insulated my foundation wall to R24. How did I do this?
R24 means
R24, while the normal insulation is about R12. So I put twice insulation in my foundation wall. And how did I achieve this? I took 2-inch styrofoam or extruded polystyrene, which is rigid foam board insulation. You can buy in Home Depot, you can buy 4x8 sheets
At $30,
of this
$40.
insulation, about $30,
yeah, so
$35.
I'm quite close.
Correct. And I glued this on my wall, so I already get R10. I glued it right to the concrete
But
walls.
you took your drywalls out before.
I didn't have any. I didn't have any drywalls.
Okay, well, so-
I live in all the homes. That my home is about 35, 37 years.
Okay.
I didn't have any. I had a little bit of old butt insulation, which I removed completely.
Yeah. Well,
And then I had a bare foundation wall, concrete wall. And I glued this 2 inches of extruded polystyrene right to the wall. So I got all my basement glued with this extruded polystyrene. And then I built my 2x4 studs for the insulation
framing,
inside. And I filled this cavity with R14 insulation. So R10 on the board, rigid foam board, plus R14, I got R24 insulation. And then I put drywall to finish it. But this R24 insulation allowed me to reduce my gas consumption by about 15%.
okay.
15% just by increasing my wall insulation. And of course it comes with the cost. So the biggest cost probably will be to replace inefficient windows with modern Energy Star windows, depending on what type of windows one can choose, what type of retrofit they can choose, whether they want to put windows what we call brick to brick, removing old frame and putting all new, or leaving old wood frame and putting only sash, vinyl sash inside this old frame. There will be different cost, but for the house you're looking for from 10,000 to about 20,000 just for the windows. Doing insulation in the attic, for example, upgrading from, let's say, R20 where you have 6 inches of insulation to R50 where you have 18 inches of insulation, you're looking about $1,000, $1,500, depending again on the material.
I got that done in my home and it cost me around $1,000.
Correct.
900. So we have, I think, R15 now.
Replacing furnaces. If you have mid-efficiency furnace, replace it with high efficiency, depending on all the features. It's like buying a car, you know. You go, you want a car.
Base price plus top of car.
Correct.
Yeah.
You want speed control, it's right here.
Well, second time talking about car, I don't know who. Yeah, Pasquale was here,
Yeah.
and he talked about the car.
Yeah, well, it's
I say,
like,
all home inspector love cars.
well, because the more features you want, the higher will be the price. Same with the furnaces.
You want leather seats, pay 10,000 extra.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
want to the CD changer, well, people, I think this
You
car
want
using
standard
CD.
features, it will be base price. But
Absolutely.
if you want something more fancy, it will be extra. But you are looking probably for about from $3,000 to $5,000 roughly installed for the high efficiency furnace.
For the
About
furnace.
96-97% furnaces. That's the price you're looking for. Tankless water heaters. I am a great believer that this is a really amazing thing.
Really?
What we have right now, we have tanks
Well,
sitting and heating the water all day long, even though no one uses it, and no one is at home actually. We leave for work from 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock. We don't need hot water during the daytime. But the hot water tank will be sitting there heating this water for us all the time. Why? Because there is a thermostat set for a certain setting. Or you have, every time you have to turn this thermostat down, turn it back on. Nobody does this.
Nobody does it.
So it's sitting and heating water. And after all, what is the efficiency of this water heater? Any tank, except of condensing, which are very expensive, but regular tanks, atmospheric or power vent, we are talking about 55 to 65% efficiency. That's all what we can get from the tank that is sitting again and heating water all day long. What about tankless water heater? It starts from 83% efficiency and you can get up to 98% efficiency, where there is no hot water until you open the hot water tap. You open the tap, then there is a hot water. You close the tap, no hot water in the house. It's beautiful. It's called, that's why it's called instantaneous. You get water when you need it, and unlimited amount of water. You can get one shower after another all day long. It will be hot water.
So if 4 people shower at the same time, will they all get the hot water?
That's a little different. That's a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
That depends on the flow of the water heater. Tankless water heaters have different amount of flow, gallons per minute. And the higher the flow, the more capability has this tankless water heater.
All right.
And in your example, you need high flow water heater in order to provide unlimited hot water for 4 showers simultaneously.
So
but it's so
basically-
rare, I don't know too many families who have teenagers who like to take shower all at the same time.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Some bigger families, if everybody is leaving the place for their work at 7 to 8 o'clock, guess what? You will find these cases. It may be few, but there may be some.
Maybe.
So basically, basically what I'm thinking, what I'm understanding for this, because I'm really interested in that. I have a big water tank and I keep thinking about tankless water heater. Not that we all shower at the same time, but I'm just thinking, will we get hot water when we need it? So you brought up a very good thing here. So if you are buying a hot water, what you call that, what was the name of this?
Instantaneous.
Instantaneous
Tankless.
wall heater, right?
Tankless water.
It is tankless water, sorry, tankless water heater. And so if you are buying, so you are buying based on your lifestyle, and you will be focusing on consumptions per gallon. Is that true? Or flow per gallon, right?
Yes.
Is it flow per gallon? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a flow which is measured in gallons per minute.
But for an average family, what do you think is the normal this?
Well, the water heaters, tankless water heaters come from about 4.5 gallons per minute to about 8 gallons per minute.
4.5 gallon per
gallons
minute is a big flow rate actually.
Yes, but
You
you
mix
can
with
get
cold water too,
yeah,
right?
You can
It gets doubled up.
correct, but you can get high if you need to. But again, you know, I did one energy audit. It's interesting that we are speaking about tankless water heaters, and I had the energy audit actually a couple days ago, and he already had a tankless water heater when I came to do his pre-retrofit energy audit, and he said, you know what, this is the best thing I ever got, tankless water heater. It saves me so much money, and it's indeed about 30 to 35% more energy efficient. So it saves 30 to 35% on your heating bill.
So we'll still continue our discussion on this. We're still here with Yuri and talking more about energy efficiency and some government plans. So stay with us for a few seconds.
Paul, very reliable person. He can give us good advice. Just go with the small details.
Man, he's doing the job for good reasons. He's not looking out for himself. He's looking after his clients all the time, and that's what makes him tick.
It's amazing. The entire experience was, again, effortless, and like I said, if I was to do it, I would have no hesitation to call Paul, aka Pablo. My Pablo, that is. Nobody else's, just me, just mine.
And you know that he actually cares,
Yes.
which is a big deal. I'm not just another check for him.
Right, not just another number.
We became family.
Got a very good vibe with this guy, you know, Paul, Shima, and that's why I called you again. And next time also, I know my guy. I got my real estate guy right here.
I would highly recommend Paul. He's been excellent. He's very professional. He presents himself well. You're very personable as well. And our dog loves him.
So we are back, and we are talking about tankless water heaters. And Yuri just told us that if you buy tankless water heater, depending upon your lifestyle, you can choose a particular gallon flow rate. So the minimum is 4.5. So minimum is 4.5 gallons per minute, which is pretty common or standard for an average family size. But don't take shower at the same time, right? So that's what we understand. So you talked about doing your own retrofit in your basement. How big was your home, if you don't mind telling me?
It's about 2,500 square feet.
The basement.
No, the main floor and the second floor. So the basement's about 1,000 square feet.
So 1,000 square feet. So excluding labor, how much money was the...
Excluding labor, this insulation, just the insulation, cost me probably around $1,000 to $1,500.
So $1,000 or $1,500 insulation, those extruded polystyrofoam sheets that gave him R10, and then he bought those 2x2, 2x4 studs, and so including those extruded styrofoam sheets and insulation and the studs, so it all cost you just $1,000?
About $1,500.
Really?
Yeah.
So I guess labor could be nearly 15 times that cost. Is that true?
It's probably will be about this because again the contractors charge per their time, and that's why I heard different prices that finish the basement, but they also include some other work that I did not include in this, for example,
Yes.
plumbing work, electrical work, finishing drywalls, etc. The finished basement can run from 10,000, 15,000 up to 20,000.
For insulation,
but that's not
retrofitting.
correct. But that's not only energy efficiency. That's everything. That's finishes, nice finishes, and some other things that you want to do, some bathroom that you want to make additional in the basement, etc. So for me, because I didn't look for improving my view of my basement, my purpose was to improve the energy efficiency of my foundation to make it more energy efficient. So
Yeah.
the cost was not too high. I considered this for the materials.
Yeah, well, if any one of you has done this energy efficiency like you, and I would really appreciate if you can just put down in the comments below the people who are watching this video will have an understanding so what they are spending and how does that how will it affect energy consumption and how it's going to benefit them when they resell their home, because I guess energy efficient homes will be selling for more than other homes of similar kind if the others are not energy efficient.
I can tell you for the new homes, the difference in price is anywhere between $6,000 to $10,000 for the Energy Star home versus regular building code home.
The newer home, where
right.
at the same time one without energy efficiency, one with energy efficiency, so it's different with 6,000 to 10,000.
One built to the building code, one Energy Star.
Yes.
So Energy Star home will be between $6,000 to $10,000 cost more.
Yeah.
But this cost divided for 25 years, 30 years amortization period of the mortgage, it's not very significant.
It's not very significant, but for an older home, it will be could be cost intensive, I guess.
For all the homes, obviously, you can do, if you do, for example, aircrete, which is a liquid foam that is injected into double brick houses.
Okay.
The old bungalows built with double brick that don't have any insulation and
Yes.
don't have enough cavity to put there significant bath insulation or other types of insulation. The contractors came with this material called aircrete, which is liquid foam that they can inject
Behind the
from
wall.
outside and from inside, which will be about 1.5 inches thickness. That's all the space that you have there. That will go inside the wall and make it a little bit better insulated than uninsulated at all. That cost can run probably from $6,000 to $10,000.
Okay, just an
depending on the
approximate
size of the
ballpark
house.
figure, like he said, just ballpark figure. But I guess if you are interested to be a responsible Canadian resident, well, you can always go for it, get an estimate, and see how it works. So, if it is too cost intensive and someone wants to do it, are there any government plans to finance things, or are there any government rebates that people may get to offset their cost here? Any information on that?
It's interesting because essentially I got into this field, when I got into this field in 2003, end of 2003, beginning 2004, that's when the government introduced the first energy efficient program that at that time federal government, was liberal government at that time, Jean Chrétien, they introduced a program that was called Energuide for Houses. And that program ran until 2007 when conservatives came to power. They cancelled this program and they introduced a new one which they called Eco-Energy. So we continued doing the same work as we did before on the Eco-Energy program.
So it's EQUA?
ECO, Energy, ECO, Eco-Energy program.
Equal energy program.
Yeah. So this program was cancelled again in 2011, and for a while there was no program available at all for a few years, and it's still not available from federal government. But in Ontario, provincial government, together with Enbridge Gas Distribution, introduced 2 years ago a program that is called Save on Energy. And this program, which is now administered by Enbridge, this program pays up to $1,600, $1,600, to people who improve the energy efficiency of their homes by a minimum of 15%. And how is this determined? They have to do 2 energy efficiency evaluations, like it was before. So prior
So this
to
is what you do as
that's
energy
what I
auditor.
do as an energy auditor for Enbridge. I come to people's houses before they start any renovations at all. I assess the energy efficiency of their home.
Okay.
I model their home in HOT 2000, and I provide them with energy efficiency report, identifying what they have right now.
So that is where the tier is set, that this is from this now, you have to 15%
Correct.
more efficient.
Correct.
To
And
get
I-
to $1,600.
I model it so that I will see where they can achieve 15%.
Okay.
And then I submit report to them, providing with my recommendations, and they have time to do their renovations. They can put insulation, they can change furnaces, they can change water
Windows.
heaters, etc. And all this counts towards improving of their energy efficiency. And then they will need the second evaluation. After this, we, energy auditors, submit documents to government on their behalf for the rebate. So rebate, again, it's $1,600 that government gives in the form of $150 instant rebate and $1,450, $1,450 as a check, follow-up check, when they send after we submit all the documents.
So this is a total rebate, whether you do furnace, whether you do windows or roofing or whatever.
Correct. The rebate does not really specify
For
that
any-
this is for the furnace
Particular
or
retrofit.
this is for the water heater. It's for improving of the house energy efficiency by 15%. But there are means, and that's why I have to do these audits, because there are means that can provide people with the best advice and how they can achieve this 15% for their buck, how they can go faster there and how they can go surely there. Because unfortunately, for example, replacing all the windows and doing nothing else, by the way, Enbridge requires 2 upgrades minimum, but one of them is air sealing. So let's say people replace windows and do some caulking, some weather stripping around, that contributes to improving of the air leakage of the building envelope. So that's considered as 2 upgrades, windows and air sealing.
Okay,
But this may not contribute to 15%,
absolutely.
because even though windows probably the most expensive part of the retrofit, they may not achieve. They may achieve only 6%, 8%, which will not be significant. And they have to pay, obviously, for the energy audit, which, by the way, the full cost for the energy audit is $600 plus HST for both audits, before and after.
Okay.
But because Enbridge subsidizes, so the total what people pay, including HST, is $428.
Alrighty.
That's what they pay for the first and for the second.
So
that
2
includes
appraisals, 2 energy appraisals.
2 energy evaluations,
yeah,
2
yeah.
audits, 2 energy audits before and after, including HST, cost $428.
Yes.
And they can get a rebate of $1,450. But in addition to this, if they replace furnaces with condensing furnace, minimum of 95%, most of the furnaces come today standard 96%, and having DC motor or ECM motor, that's additional $250 that they can receive from independent electricity supplier. So that already makes it $1,700.
Yeah, because
And if they put Energy Star air conditioner of minimum of 15 SEER and higher, they can get additional $400. So that makes it $2,100. So that already makes it very attractive. $2,000, they spend $400 for my services, and then they get almost $1,600 net amount for their pocket.
well, this is kind of becoming a trend now. It's a new lifestyle, going for energy efficient homes. And I am pretty sure a home with energy efficiency retrofits is definitely going to get more value when it is put on the market for sale.
Absolutely. Its resale value will be much higher.
Plus, it
all
gives you
this-
luxury of living good life, comfortable life,
Correct.
where you don't feel any change in temperature, and your electricity bill, hydro bill comes way lesser than you're paying now. That is pretty interesting. Yuri, you send me some links to the websites where people can have more information about energy efficiency and retrofitting. So I will post those links on this video,
Okay.
and you will also see on the screen on this side. And yeah, and his information will be up here. You can always give him a call. Tell him that you saw this video. He will feel happy about it. So that his travel from Markham to here is fruitful, because this is something even I didn't know about it actually. It's a great information, and thank you very much for offering to share with everyone here. I hope people listen to it and get more informed when they're making a decision to buy a house. Other than so many things people focus on, this is one of the major things I think people should be thinking about. Yeah.
It's my pleasure, Paul, and thank
Well,
you
it's-
again
it's
for
awesome.
inviting me.
So, any other thing you want to talk about on energy efficiency? Because I understood retrofitting means changing windows, caulking the windows to seal the housing envelope, changing, tell me if I'm a good student because I'm a listener or not, putting insulation in the attic, insulating your basement walls, because earth is not a good insulator
Absolutely.
as was perceived previously. I hope it was not before Galileo. So that is important. And then comes your major mechanical systems in the form of water heater and furnace. So their value is going to affect their energy efficiency is going to help you a lot. And then we talked about I forgot something. I am missing something. But anyways, did I forget
That was HRV.
it was HRV and ERV, yes. HRV and ERV, how to find them? If you don't find them, call Yuri Olhovsky. His number is 416-909-6467. Call him. Don't call him late night. He has to sleep.
Actually, my work day starts when I wake up and ends when I go to bed.
Don't get this poor guy kicked out of his house because he got a call at 11:50 midnight saying, I cannot find my HRV, where is that? So please have some pity on him as well. So what else you want to add to this? What should people
Well,
be
there
sure?
is one other interesting component that we didn't mention. I didn't mention it,
good.
but it's also very important, and lately it become very popular. It's called rainwater heat recovery or power pipe.
Rainwater heat.
Rainwater heat recovery. What is this? It's a copper pipe that is installed in the plumbing stack. So when you have, like you mentioned, teenagers taking showers at the same time, so at least they should have 4 bathrooms there. I would assume that they
Well, houses have
take
four bathrooms now.
baths separately.
Guess what? Every room has a bathroom these days.
Correct. So if they have, if the
It's
house,
wonderful how much we shit on it.
so if the house has 3 or 4 bathrooms and every bathroom has a shower, why not to connect all the drains in one in the basement and put vertical stack about 4 feet or 6 feet long, instead of ABS pipe, putting this power pipe, which is a copper pipe, connected to the water heater. So what it does actually, this drain water heat recovery, same as HRV,
Oh,
heat
drain
recovery
water.
ventilator.
Is it drain water?
Drain water.
Oh, I
yes.
was saying rain water.
Drain.
Oh, so with D, D-R-A-I-N.
Correct.
Okay.
So this drain water heat recovery, it takes heat from the waste water
Really?
that otherwise would be wasted. It just goes to drain. But this system takes this heat and returns it to the water heater.
So
Not the water that is obviously going to drain, but just the heat from this water, its temperature.
Really?
It takes it and returns this heat back to water heater, so the water heater doesn't have to work very hard to heating water in the house.
Wonderful.
And this actually improves the efficiency of the water heater. So if someone still doesn't want to put tankless water heater, but wants to improve the energy efficiency of their tank, I can give away one secret how you can do this. And this actually will raise your efficiency of your water heater significantly. If you have, but it works only if you have 2 or more showers connected to the same waste pipe, otherwise
All
it won't be
together?
beneficial. Correct. So they have to be together, connected together to the same waste stack in the basement, where the portion of this stack, like I said, the longer the better, so the 4 feet minimum, 6 feet better, is replaced with a power pipe or drain water heat recovery, DWHR, drain water heat recovery, and the efficiency of DWHR depends on its length. So the longer the drain water heat recovery pipe, the more efficient it is. The more showers connected to it, the more efficient it is.
Wonderful.
And this is the thing that can raise the energy efficiency of your old tank that has 55%, it can raise it up to 70%, 75%.
Insulating the basement floors, will that add to the efficiency too?
Yes, of course, because the more heat we keep inside, the better for us.
So,
We lose less heat, the furnace doesn't have to work this hard, and we actually can put a smaller size of the furnace if we have more insulation in our walls.
so basically it's all in our hands, and the only reason we don't do it is lack of knowledge, the right information.
Well, there is another reason, it's lack of finances.
Lack of
As
finance,
well.
but you get $2,000 in different rebates, and paying his fee, it comes down to 16 something. Not bad idea, but I guess don't we spend too much money all the time? I'm not going to say anything to anyone. It's just between me and Yuri. Like, we spend so much money on coffee drinking every time, $10 whenever you go to the coffee shop, multiply it by 30 days, and then you end up paying $300 minimum one time.
True.
So it's just a perspective, but don't forget, it adds to the value too. And it pays off in the form of you might a less energy bill. And okay, a funny question though. Doesn't the government hate those people who go energy efficient because they make less money on hydro bills?
Well, actually, it's a funny thing because government does want people to use less energy, because otherwise we have to buy energy from outside and we have to pay hard money we have to pay American dollars to bring energy from US to us, or we have to pay for pipes bringing utilities from East Canada to Ontario?
So probably the government, I won't name the government, so probably the government will have to buy less energy from outside sources. And it will
Saving
think,
money on this.
okay, people are using less energy, so let's reduce the energy cost. So that's awesome. So Yuri Olhovsky, 416-909-6467. I can bet on this that you must be thinking he's an awesome guy. And he really is. So if you have any question which you think we forgot to talk about here, well, call him, ask him, or put a comment here. He will be watching this video very closely. So tell him what you want, and maybe you can get one-on-one interaction with him. It will be totally free, or there is a cost to this one-on-one call.
Well, it depends who
$10, €1 per minute. I was watching a program somewhere that said, call me €1 per minute. So it's free, complimentary of Yuri. So give him a shout, and I guess you got good information. And can I ask you one thing? Please share this video with anyone you think would be benefited. So this video will be on YouTube. Like the channel, because you will see tons and tons of videos on this real estate TV show, and our goal is to inform people, because Yuri, what I have seen is people do not know what questions to ask.
That's true.
The only question they ask from an agent, should I say that?
The same question they ask for the home inspector. The first question they call me and ask how much you charge for home
Well,
inspector.
there is life beyond how much will you charge for this. There's way more things to ask. Go for that, and I can guarantee you this thing. If you ask the right question, you won't even have to ask the first question, how much will you charge? Because the value is way more than what you are going to pay to a professional. And trust me, professional means a professional. The competition bureau will be watching this video, and I don't want to go there, but you can differentiate a professional from all other people. It's easy.
Absolutely.
It's just a blue litmus or red litmus test. You dip it in, tells you acidic or alkaline.
Professionals don't work for free. Professionals should charge a professional fee.
Yes. And professionals cook food at home. Non-professionals don't cook food at home because professionals get time to do it. That reminds me, I have to go home and cook food for my wife. So once again, thank you very much, Yuri.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
We'll call you
Was a
anytime we
pleasure.
need you here again.
Thank you.
It was a lot of good information, and I learned a lot of new things from you.
Thanks.
So give him a shout. Says if I were you, I would just thank him for all the information he gave us. So thank you, Yuri, once again.
Thanks, Paul.
Very reliable person. He can give us a good advice. Just go with the small details.
This man, he's doing the job for good reasons. He's not looking out for himself, he's looking after his clients all the time, and that's what makes him tick.
It's amazing. The entire experience was, again, effortless, and like I said, if I was to do it, I would have no hesitation to call Paul, aka Pablo. My Pablo, that is. Nobody else's, just me, just mine.
And you know that he actually cares,
Yes.
which is a big deal. I'm not just another check for him.
Right, not just another number.
We became family.
Got a very good vibe with this guy, Paul, Shima, and that's why I called you again. And next time also, I know my guy. I got my real estate guy right here.
I would highly recommend Paul. He's been excellent. He's very professional. He presents himself well. You're very personable as well. And our dog loves him.